Hey everyone. Once in a while people who are not walking in Torah ask if they should still give offerings or send them to Christian ministries. So if you have offerings to give, is it acceptable for Torah keepers to give it to them? Let's talk about that. Shalom everybody and welcome to Beit Tefillah. Not long ago I did a video entitled Do We Really Need to Tithe? And I will include the link to that video in the description below this video. That will hopefully answer some questions for people who haven't seen it to know if we still need to tithe or not, or if it's applicable for us to do so today. But that's not what this particular video is about. However, I briefly mentioned something in that video that is going to be kind of the basis for this video and something I wanted to go into a little bit deeper. And I also received quite a few messages from people after that tithing video saying, well, I've been sending money to these Christian missionaries and I've been sending some money to this Christian outreach and doing that. Can I still do that? So that's what I want to discuss today. But quickly, I want to hit a couple of key points from that video about tithing, mostly, since that's what it was about. Number one, tithing was only for supporting those in Elohim's covenant or the ones in his family called Yisrael. Number two, tithing was just not to be given to Gentiles or whoever needed it or those who were lawless or out of covenant. Tithing was actually about food. It wasn't about money, and it was given to support the Levitical priesthood who couldn't be out there growing crops or raising animals when they were working in the tabernacle and doing the things for the Father to help atone for sin. It was a symbiotic relationship between the children of Israel and the Levitical priesthood. They each needed each other for mutual support and to work together as one symbiotic family for Elohim, okay? We hear a lot of preachers, priests, and ministers of today who will say something like, oh, you need to send your tithes to me or give your offerings to me, and we'll make sure they get distributed to whoever needs it. But we need to read in Exodus 19, 5-6, and now, if you diligently obey my voice and shall guard my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possession above all the peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a reign of priests and a set-apart nation. Whoever obeys Elohim and guards his covenant gets to be a reign of priests. Since Christianity throws out the word of our Creator, they said, oh, we don't have to do that old law anymore. They do something different, and they teach people to disregard the commands of Elohim. They certainly can be no priest to Elohim. They are Hasatan, or an adversary to the word, so why would we want to send them any kind of money or financial support whatsoever? Think about that. Why would you want to ally with and send money to help finance a lawless, wicked, Torah-despising religion? How do you think Elohim would feel knowing you're openly supporting them and what they do? Because they have missionaries? Oh, you mean those people who are sent out to the furthest corners of the earth to tell people who aren't walking according to the word, don't worry, you can follow a lawless Messiah and you don't have to walk according to that old word? See what I mean? How much sense does that make? Why would Hasatan have them do that? Possibly so that when the true gospel of obeying the Torah got there, that the seeds of destruction were already planted first? Think about that. Hasatan is pretty smart. He's going to have something in place to try to knock what Elohim does and knock what Elohim's people would want to do out of the way first, right? See what you'd help finance if you just gave to some Christian ministries or some Christian missionaries? See what would happen? Think about it. Some people might disagree with me here and say, well, the people who send them money, their heart's in the right place. Well, actually, if their heart was in the right place, they'd realize what they were doing and that it was wrong. Many years ago, when it came to the evil people practicing their pagan or heathen ways who were very disobedient to the Creator and lawless, just like churchianity, the prophet Jeremiah was told this by Elohim. Jeremiah 11:14, and you do not pray for this people or lift up a cry or a prayer for them, for I do not hear them in the time that they cry out to me because of their evil. So if Elohim doesn't even want to hear prayers for these people, how do you think he'd feel if you helped him financially? Who would it seem that you were siding with? I want to pause in this part of the video to thank some people today, starting with a couple brothers in the dispersion that live in South Africa. Mark is sending out DVDs to hundreds and hundreds of families scattered all across South Africa with the Beit Tefillah videos on them, sending the message to many people all over the place. Wonderful job, brother. Thank you so much. JP is currently working on translating all of our videos in the Afrikaans language. 23 million people speak that language all over Africa, mostly South Africa from what I'm told. They're going to be doing wonderful work spreading the message. So many thanks to these two brothers for everything that they're doing. We sure appreciate it, and thank you, and we know you're going to be blessed by Elohim for doing so. And plus, they're doing this all for free, out of their own pockets, for anybody who would be willing to listen. We also have people who are doing prison ministries, who are translating books and writing down transcripts when you can't send the whole books to people in prison. There's different laws for different prisons around here. We've, sent some things to different people, and some people you can send some books to, and some people they have to come directly from the publisher. It's kind of a kind of crazy thing at times. But anyway, these people, they know some people in prison. They're doing prison ministries, and they're doing that too. And in Scotland, we have our good brother Bill spreading the word, and here we have our brother Nick, who works very hard to spread the truth. We have others in Australia, Germany, New Zealand, Japan, and many other places who are sharing our books and videos. Thank you so much for all that you do. To all of you who share our videos on YouTube and send the URLs and links to family and friends, thank you very much. But of course, it's not just our videos. It's anyone who is using whatever they have available to them to spread the truth of Elohim's word, and however they are doing it, whether they're trying to get one person to see the truth or 1,000. Quite a few of these people are taking their own money, be it their tithes or their offerings, and they're using it to buy Bibles with better translations, and are giving them away to people who can't afford them, people who are hungry for the truth. They're sharing the Torah with them, whether it's by providing them with teaching materials like our books and videos, or from a good number of other writers or Torah teachers. There are a good many teachers out there, and not all of them make videos. Some of them make blogs, some of them post memes, and some just talk about the Torah to whoever will listen. Keep up the great work. We are only a remnant, guys, and we are working for Elohim. Messiah said in Matthew 24:14, "And this good news or gospel of the kingdom shall be proclaimed in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end shall come." Christianity has spent many years spreading its lawless message all over the world, and we know that's no kind of good news for anyone. The truth of Elohim's Torah and the fact that all can come back in wherever they have been scattered by merely obeying it and taking a hold of the covenant, that is the good news. This is the gospel that must be preached to all nations and all people. It's what we are told here in Deuteronomy 30, 1-3. Read this many a times in my videos, and I'm going to read it again now. "And it shall be, when all of these words come upon you, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before you, and you shall bring them back to your heart among all the Gentiles where Yahuwah your Elohim drives you, and shall turn back to Yahuwah your Elohim and obey his voice, according to all that I command you today, with all your heart, with all your being, you and your children, then Yahuwah your Elohim shall turn back your captivity, and shall have compassion on you, and he shall turn back and gather you from all the peoples where Yahuwah your Elohim has scattered you." Does Christianity tell you to obey his voice and do all that he has commanded that day? Of course not. They tell you that all that has been done away with. They are keeping people out of covenant. They preach death. They don't preach life. See why we have to make sure that we do not send them any financial help whatsoever? Why would you want to help finance the plan that deliberately keeps people from coming into Yahuwah's covenant and that preaches disobedience? What makes them different from the serpent in the garden when you think about it? Adam and Eve had the serpent to lead them into disobedience, and religion does the same. Would you help finance the serpent's message? No, or at least I hope not. Don't send any money to organized religion. Use your money to help those who want to learn the truth of Elohim's word, not a lawless religion. Use your resources to help those in covenant, or if there are needy children, fatherless kids, widows, or veterans, give it to them and let them know that all good things come from Elohim and not a church or a religion. This has been a very big mistake for a very long time with these churches. James 1:17, "Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above." I remember years ago we did a food drive for the church that I was in, and people were told as they were given the food, this was all done courtesy of the St. John's Lutheran Church and the Missouri Synod. What they should have said is all good things come from Elohim, and given them the word instead of trying to give them a religious message or making it seem like it came from the church. Because people are going to remember who feed them. What will they think of in the future? There's a reason kids are given presents under a decorated Christmas tree or given candy and colored Easter eggs. It helps to make these fluffy memories that are going to make them grow up and want to do the same thing with their kids. Hasatan isn't stupid, and he knows this next verse very well. Proverbs 22:6. "Train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he turns not away from it." He knows that. Why do you think he likes to get people when they're young and bring that lawless message to them? They don't realize it. It's, you know, all glitzed up and glamored up with tinsel and lights and colored eggs and candy. One of the biggest thrills I get now is when I see young children of today reading and learning the Torah, keeping the feast, and knowing we have a remnant who are growing up in this ever increasingly wicked world. That these kids are being set apart to our Elohim despite the ways of the world. That gives me hope and shalom. Speaking of shalom, shalom from all of us here at Beit Tefillah to everyone out there scattered worldwide who is doing Elohim's will and teaching others about it. Thanks to all who have subscribed to our channel. Please do so if you haven't yet. Thanks for everyone who is sharing our videos. Keep up the great work. Everybody be blessed and have a wonderful day.